I'm gonna hit record. So,
Oh, yes.
oh,
No, I know you said to bring, I just got home.
that's okay. That's all
I had
right.
to work late and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I gotta find something. I was
That's okay.
trying to
Or
bring,
anything, I mean, if it doesn't, if it's not a specific verse,
something spoke to me today, but it also
okay.
I, it spoke heart to some of the other ladies. And so for me to share. And
Okay.
it's in Isaiah. So
It's so funny. What part of Isaiah?
it is, um, 61,
Okay.
chapter 61.
I was like, mine is literally Isaiah 43. And I was like, if you're about to say yours is Isaiah 43 too, then we definitely know that there's
What's
something.
number 43?
Isaiah, I was actually I'm on a business call this afternoon with another Christian business coach inside of the space that is doing really incredible things. And she put together like a 3 day um, webinar-ish. It's obviously for her to sell her coaching programs too. And I like to see what other people are doing, but I really like her
Oops.
approach. And so I'm reading the books of the prophets right now. And that's kind of what tomorrow's voice memo is about. And so Isaiah has just been really on my mind a lot lately because when you see how often Jesus quotes Isaiah, you realize why they killed him. And so when she quoted Isaiah 43, I was like, that's the verse that I'm also going to give my community today because I think it's just so powerful and it kind of very nicely goes into I think the season for a lot of us. So yeah.
Okay, I have it up there.
Okay.
Um, so the thing that I think I was registered for the thing that you're going to be speaking at.
Which was a while ago. Yeah. I do have a replay.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've
Yeah,
been waiting and waiting and
you know
waiting, and I'm
what? Let
like,
me see. How could I send that to you guys? Actually, I could upload that, I think, on my YouTube page. That's what I need to do. I'll add that to my list because I need to, for you guys to see it. Yeah. Because it was kind of one of those things I didn't, well, it was kind of a hot mess. When she put it all together, unfortunately, Facebook had this massive attack. I don't know if you know about this, but Facebook had this massive attack when it happened that they were attacked by their own AI. Somebody figured out how to attack their AI. And so what it did was it shut down a whole bunch of people's Facebook groups. And so the entire event was operated out of a Facebook group that she had put together for people who had registered. Well, when the AI attacked all these groups, like these people who had built their entire businesses on Facebook groups, even like what I was suggesting with you, right, to do.
right.
That's why it's kind of dangerous to also build on Facebook because it's like it's such a high priority platform. You're putting all
Oh,
your eggs in that basket. And so that's what a lot of people did. And a ton of people lost their entire
oh, my heart breaks. I'm
yeah.
sorry to
So a
hear
lot
that.
of people got him back. Well, her group was part of that. So like all the people that had registered that had been a part of the group, it was like I was on day one and it happened day two. So like everybody who was registered saw my portion of it. But then after that, I don't I, I don't even know if she was able to get everything back. I don't even know if the rest of the event was actually able to continue. But I sent her like a copy of my video and it was like you could have access to it for 24 hours, but then after that you would have to pay the $37 or whatever. Did you ever pay that?
I think I paid. I
Okay.
paid a fee.
Okay. If you paid a fee, then I'm going to email her because
I don't know if I would.
if you paid a fee, then I'm going to email her because I want you to have access to all of the videos if that's the case. If you didn't
Well,
pay,
yeah, because it was the VIP.
uh-huh, yeah.
That's the one I went for.
Okay. Yeah, I will
I don't
email.
remember how much it was, but
It should have been like $37 or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Um, so I'll email her and ask because, and actually, she might be a good one to reach out to. Yeah, I'll do that. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, because I don't want you to, or that, or at least ask her to refund you because I don't want you to be out the money. But at the very least, I could upload my video to YouTube and at least post it for you guys so you could see it. Uh, it's a lot of the stuff, obviously, you've heard me say before, but
Yeah, but let me tell you, even if you said it before, just like reading the Bible, you can read it a million times, and every
yeah,
time you hear it or read it, it's always something
yeah,
different that you didn't pick up the very first time.
exactly, exactly. Uploaded it to you video. Speaking of that, yeah, I will do that. So tell me about your week. Tell me about your last couple weeks since last week I was dead to the world. Tell me about what's going on in your world.
Well, well, things are kind of weird at work. But other than that, um, it's okay here at home. And I've been working on patterns,
Good.
and it just seems like I'm not getting enough, you know, time. I just feel like I'm not getting as much at work done where I used to. And so now that, and I think it's just certain things have now come up at work where I'm juggling. And so that's why I don't have the time at work to work on my patterns. Um, then God's been working on a schedule for me, like design one day. And I was trying to think of all the things that he was telling me. And then it's an active, oh, what is it called? Um, I think I'm just gonna write active and then office. Okay, so he's trying to put me on a schedule, but it's so hard for me to do that schedule because I'm still working. And so it's like, wait, dude. So it's like it's trying, I haven't figured it out, but he's kind of wants me to break down instead of doing everything. He's
Hmm.
telling me like design one day, that's all you do is nothing but design. Then another day you would do all the work behind the scene, like do my AI description, um, and making sure the video works and all that kind of stuff. And then the next day or another day is getting it uploaded and answering the questions for Etsy. And then, I don't know if the next day would be to activate them. I haven't gotten that far because it's hard to do any of that when work has taken so much of my time that like tonight I got off at 4:30 and so just crazy. And then I wanted to learn, that was the other thing is um trying to figure out more things that I can do, like advertising. There's some stuff in there that I don't know
Hmm.
and that I need to try to figure out. But once again, I feel like I don't have any time. And
Hmm.
I know that Satan is against me.
Hmm.
Trying to get, and then on weekends, I've been trying to do my orders. It's just like craziness. And then Ryan was supposed to be moved yesterday, but he wasn't moved, so they were supposed to move him today, and he was supposed to be moved in the morning, and he has not been moved yet that I know of. So trying to keep up with that and just, I mowed for 8 hours. I'm busy just like everybody else.
Yeah. No, I think you're on the right track with trying to delegate days or just small amounts every day. I mean, obviously, like designing is very like a. I like that you set aside a day for designing because that's a very like creative therapeutic process. It's not something that unless you
Well,
get, like inspiration spark, you can start creating on a whim and you can maybe knock out something very quickly, but to like then digitize it and all that stuff, like that's a good
that's
chunk of time.
that's how, yeah, that's why, when right now I'm just working in the software,
Hmm.
and then when I have to go, the office part of it is converting everything to all the different formats and that kind of stuff. And then also, oh, that's the other day. The other day is to run, to make the patterns because I got to make them to make sure everything's in order and right and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I knew that was another day. And so it's just a lot trying to figure it out. And for me, I'm ready to do this full time, but God's not there yet.
Yeah. He
So
often
it's
takes
okay.
time first.
It's okay. I'll just keep. I know that when it's time, I'll have part of it done, and yes, the other thing is, I'm almost done with my free stuff. I think I have seven more things of free posting, and then I got to remember how much it costs
I
for
think it's like 20
posting.
cents a listing or something like that. I
I
don't think
think so too.
that. And you're paying for the $10 a month thing too, which I'm not exactly sure what all that
I
entails.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Like,
Cindy.
um, so I need to work on Etsy's, I guess you'd say, office stuff too. Um, this is, what's it called? Embroidery. And then office work for Etsy. I got two office stuff I got to get done. And so I think that took me for 5 days or 6 days. I'm not sure how that worked. And so I thought, okay. And then just trying to figure Etsy out still. And, I'd like to do the funnels and that kind of thing, but I know, and they were talking about some advertising stuff, which I don't understand. And so I need to have some time to work on Etsy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if did you ever watch inside of the community the video that I posted about like the digital marketing process as a whole? I don't maybe you did and maybe you just don't remember and that's cool too. Like
Yeah, I can't remember.
okay, where I talk about how sort of the journey that we want to take the customer on about building an email list and then that would be leading into a funnel that would then promote your offer and then your emails would kind of nurture them on the back end
Right.
sort of thing. You don't need a fully completed store, obviously, before you pursue that part of business. However, when you start setting up that part of business or looking to create funnels, that's where you would need to invest in the additional software. Like and this is where people, like we've talked about before, is use the Stan Store or Beacons or whatever the case may be, or I have the software that I use, right? It's good for you to think about those things now, but you might not be ready financially, excuse me, to invest in that just yet. More importantly, would be for you to start creating marketing content on some type of social media platform and promoting your this just straight to the store. Yes, you're losing the opportunity to capture the leads who might be visiting because you're not capturing an email list, but that's sort of like secondary as far as just getting. You could have a whole set up Etsy store, but nobody's going to necessarily know about it unless you start promoting it, right?
So
So
I
that's
guess,
that's where I think the next step for you goes is like while you're still learning the back end of Etsy, because that's a lot to learn, the next step to you for you to start looking towards is okay, I've got at least what 7 to 10 products on there now. Those the keywords and things can always be, tweaked and they will be over time, or I can keep adding products as I design, but like how can I start getting the word out about I don't know what that was, but I hope he's okay. How can I start getting the word out about the products that I have on here? So that's where we want to start looking for. Yes, you could spend a ton of time learning Etsy. Yes, you could spend a ton of time learning the back end of that stuff. But I would hate for you to keep spending so much time on just that then nobody's finding out about your products.
okay.
I think that the next like phase for you would be either starting a Facebook group, marketing on Facebook, or choosing to go Instagram, TikTok route.
Well, I do have an Instagram. I do not have a TikTok.
Okay, but your Instagram that you have is your personal Instagram, right?
Correct. Which I would do um, a business one.
Yes. Yeah. And so I don't want to overload you with too much because each platform is its own thing to learn. So you kind of have to choose, here's the benefits, let's just say between Facebook and Instagram. They're integrated. So it's the same Meta owns both. So the good thing is you could set up like a business Instagram and a business Facebook and literally just post to Facebook and it'll cross post to Instagram, I'm sorry, to Facebook in a lot of cases. So you're kind of hitting two birds with one stone without having to go in and like post on each one individually. You could do that. Uh,
Wait, no, wait. Say that again.
So Instagram and Facebook are the same company. So when you set
Okay.
up a business Instagram page, you can
Uh-huh.
also set up a business Facebook page. And if you link them on the back end, then you whatever you post on Instagram, you can have it automatically post to Facebook. So you're kind of cross-posting two
Posting.
audiences on, yeah, right. They're
That
seeing,
sounds like it's very, I think that would work really well.
yeah, I think it's a good place for you to start because you're getting two platforms without having to do much additional learning, at least initially. Like you'll obviously want to learn as time goes on. The cool thing about starting with Instagram is if you set up your own Instagram business page, the top three tasks that I would give you to do is like create the page. Um, and we'll want to optimize your bio, which there's a section inside of the community that teaches you how to do that. Um, let me see, let me see where it's at. So you'd want to create a bio. You could start it with the same logo that you have for your Etsy page as your profile picture. Um, and then you don't even worry about posting anything. Don't even worry about any of that. Just start training the algorithm, searching for embroidery content, DIY craft type content, that type of stuff. What you're doing is you're training that account to tell the algorithm this is the type of content that I'm searching for, and this is the type of content that I'm creating for.
So
Does
wait. What is it? DRY?
DIY, like do it yourself. Do it yourself is kind of your niche, if you will, is a part of your niche, I would say.
DYI?
DIY. Do it yourself. DIY.
And is that in Etsy that I would know this? I guess I don't understand how would I do a DYI.
You would just want to search it. That those could be one of the keywords that you search
Oh,
either in
okay.
Etsy, it could be, or a keyword that you search in Instagram. When you create
Okay.
an Instagram account, you're going to go to the search bar, and basically what you're telling it is you're just trying to give it information because the algorithm is like it's a computer. So it's kind of like, you know how
So
when
that's where I would put embroidery, um, Christian,
yep,
um, the faith, patterns,
yeah.
digital. Okay. So use that as that's the key words. Okay.
Mhm.
And my picture is my logo. Okay.
Yeah.
And my bio was the one I wrote, but I haven't put it on Etsy yet.
Okay.
I told my mom that I'm trying to put a story together and I need some photos from I don't know if I can find them way that that far back.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to put something together. But
Can
I
you put
could
photos in an Etsy bio?
I don't know. But I could go ahead and just put my bio that I wrote in there and it'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
The one I say
Yeah. Yeah. Just what you've already written. I would go ahead and put it in there. Yeah.
okay. So so what else do I need to do on Etsy? I mean Instagram?
Those
Page, bio, logo, and DYI.
um the DIY would be part of the keywords. So
Yes, that's what I have.
yeah, yeah. So main
Is
thing
that part of the backside of in the office part? Is that where that's at? I've never done it. I have not been active on.
on
I
Instagram.
didn't. I didn't set it up. My Ivy did.
So here's what I want you to do first, okay, before you even try to jump into any of this. Just go on your personal Instagram page
And
and
look at it.
get familiar with the platform. Yeah,
Okay.
get familiar with
Okay.
the platform because then at least you'll be kind of familiar with how it's set up.
Okay.
If I try to explain it to you, I mean, this is
That'll
where
be
I
overwhelming.
really need a video, a video tutorial explaining this for you guys because like how to set it up an account. Wow, that was my knuckles from start to kind of completion because you'll have to set up an Instagram account and then set up a Facebook account and then you can integrate them. But I do
Okay.
believe you have to set them up separately. So before, just
Yeah,
get
that's okay.
familiar if you haven't been around, if you haven't been on it recently, just get familiar with it and you'll
Okay.
see you'll see kind of how it's set up and how it operates. And then from there, I think some of the things that I explain to you will not be like speaking so much Greek, you know? Because I know right now for you it's probably like, wait, what?
Yeah, but that's okay. I'll get in there and work on that, and and then I don't do a whole lot on Facebook anymore. I'm not even sure how much I remember on Facebook, but I can do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll go
Yeah.
look at my personal page,
Yeah. And
which I don't have a whole lot in there
the
as far
personal
as
page,
info.
oh my gosh, these dang bugs. I have so many bugs in this office. It just drives me nuts. There's another fly on my dang desk right here. Facebook,
They've been bad.
yeah, they've been really bad here. Um, let me see.
And I have to tell you, I took some courses, I guess you'd
Uh-huh.
call it, learning courses
Uh,
on how to do images on t-shirts and hats and so
Good.
yeah, and I did one yesterday and how to take and just how to manipulate it. So it's not like I'm not doing anything. It's just
Yeah.
it's luckily it's recorded so I can go back and oh, I have 5 minutes here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's good.
I love it. I mean, it's always going to be a continuous learning process. The fact that you're still investing in learning things that are relevant to, what you're trying to do is important because there's always going to be something else, a new element to add. There's always, and then as things grow and change too, like
Yep.
I think that's
And
why the familiarity of it is going to be helpful for you too, because then I'm not trying to explain to you something. And that's why it's also hard to make courses on these things is because things sometimes just change so rapidly. Like I have
yeah.
a guy that I met, he's like, I don't know anything about TikTok. I really would love for you to teach me TikTok. I'm like, I can teach you TikTok all day long. The problem with even teaching TikTok though is it's kind of on borrowed time. Like this app still might go away come September. And so it's like, how much of this
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, how much of this do you still want to devote to like learning it or I devote to creating a course on it, like
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
know.
disappointing. And I'm just trying to read what. So something happened yesterday. Oh, was supposed to write that on my journal. I forgot. Um, um, I know it was something. I don't know. It was on something you wrote that something that's current. And so I had a customer. She goes to our church, and her husband is the one that said, "Hey," I told him about the business or the design that I had gotten from somewhere else. And I said, walking in my dad's footsteps. And he goes, "Oh, that's cool. I want you to make me one." I made it. And then I find out yesterday, that their kids have starting a business with um, baseball caps and I don't know what all they have. I can't remember, but they're patches or embroidered on the baseball caps or whatever. And I'm like, well, then why did you ask me to design something for you and put it on a shirt? Because whatever they hired someone to do it, they've got a team of people that's doing all this stuff for them. And it's like,
Want you to make the design?
huh?
Did he just want you to make the design?
Yeah. So I made the design, and they wanted me to put it on t-shirts. So I had the t-shirts bought, I had the design made, and I ran across having a booth at the fairgrounds, and I found out they have a whole team of people that can do this.
I would ask
And
him.
I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this? Just like what you were saying. It's like, why am I wasting my time? I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I would ask him. I mean,
Well, I asked her, how come if Fred knows about this with the company that you're working with or the people that you have staffed to make these things for your kids' stuff, why would he ask me to do something? And she goes, I don't know. And it was just the family seems to be blowing me off. And so I'm like, well, I'm done. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to tuck it away and go
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that, you like you were talking about is people using you and then don't want anything for it
Mhm.
or they don't want to continue and they're just, yeah, I'm done with this family.
I think sometimes too, it's like people think that they're doing you a favor by showing interest in what it is that you're doing or like pretending to show interest, but
Yeah,
then
it's
actually
a
not
pretend.
ever planning to like execute on
Yep.
anything.
And it's
I think there is
exactly
a
what it
big
is.
difference. I don't I think there is a big difference between those people and also people that are actively invested, that are working through things, but then they're still like like I was saying, like in the weeds of stuff. Like,
Right.
um, so I probably didn't make that distinction clear enough. But it's like, yeah, I agree. I would just flat out ask him. I would sit there and be like, well, so is there a specific reason for this? Because otherwise I have other designs and things that I need to get to. So like if you're not interested,
I
really okay.
I'm just going to drop it.
Yeah.
And if they happen to bring it up and I said, "Well, you have a designer on hand.
Hmm.
She can design your shirts how you want it and she can do them. I don't know why you want to do it unless it's because I was free.
Hmm.
They weren't going to pay me."
Yep. Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, done with that. So it was very hurtful, but I'm I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with
I
it.
mean, I'm sorry
So,
that happened. I understand. I understand the frustration
yes.
now.
Yes. And like you said, there are people out there and I don't want to draw those people to me. So I'm okay. Let it go.
Hmm. Yep.
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So the verse deeper in oh, what's holding me back in this session? I'm trying to think, prepared to share his three things. Well, I told you what I'm working on.
Well, and I kind of worked through the three things to give you. So that kind of answers that question. I think the main thing would be continue to focus on the back end, but don't get stuck in the weeds on the back end stuff. Just keep moving forward as far as just getting familiar with Instagram as a platform, knowing that that's where we'll start. That's
Yeah.
where we'll start with you, and we can kind of go through things that direction because then you can also branch off into Facebook and
But the verse that I was good, I cannot remember who's who. So whoever listens to this, please apologize. I am apologizing ahead of time. I think it's Stephanie with the counseling. Is that right?
Stephanie in our group.
Uh-huh.
She does. Well, Roz does the counseling.
Oh,
It was doing well. She was, had the background in counseling. Stephanie is doing the child and infant loss.
okay. Okay. So it spoke to both of those
Okay.
where it talked about in Isaiah 61 and starts at 3. Well, you can read the whole thing. My thing was from 1 through 11, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. It was talking about the powerhouse of God's promises that Jesus Christ has filled for you. And I'm going to just drop down to a few that provides, this is verse 3, and provides for those who grieve in Zion to bestowed on them a crown of beauty instead of ash, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. And and then it keeps going, but then just remembering their story of who they're helping. We don't have to stay in those, um, in the ash or the mourning or the despair. We get to decide we're going to be joyful and we're going to be a beauty of crown or a crown of beauty. God made us beautiful. So I thought of them as when I read it.
I love that. I'm so excited. I hope they go back and watch this. Yeah, no,
And there was more, but um, yeah, and garment of praise instead of, oh, I said that one. And then instead of your shame, to receive the double portion.
Mm.
And then instead of disgrace, it's an inheritance that we are royalty. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and this is speaking to me right now too, because right after that in verse 4, it says, they will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations.
Yeah,
Um, and I think that that too also plays a part in like renewing the ruined cities, as like I talked about today, is like the generational trauma or the
curse.
generational beliefs, the things that have been passed down, is like talking about rebuilding and restoring and having
Yeah.
that conscious recognition. So that part speaks to me as well. So Isaiah, what I was going to read is Isaiah 43. Let me see.
Boy, I have a lot underlined in Isaiah. 43.
I think Isaiah, fun fact, I think Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken, is the most quoted prophetic book by Jesus. It is the book that he quotes the most often when he's referring to himself. And that's kind of what about tomorrow is about, is like as I'm reading through the prophetic books and listening to Jesus say these things about himself, it's like for the first time I really see like why they killed him. Because what he's claiming is it's crazy. And it makes me wonder too, like if Jesus were to come back today, would Christians recognize him? Or would they do the exact same thing? Would they repeat history? Because this is where I like, obviously not to get too political, but I think that Jesus would have been a little bit more liberal than the conservatives want to admit. And I think he would have been a little bit more conservative than the liberals want to admit. And I think that the truth lies somewhere in the middle on everything. And when you hear him talk about and quote scripture, I see a lot of people these days quoting scripture, and it just makes me wonder, like, if you're just using scripture to correct somebody else without the correct heart posture, Jesus would have called you just as righteous and hypocritical as he did then. And that's why they killed him. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to sit here and think about it in this season. Like, I don't know. It's very fascinating in such a divided and polarizing world, which is why I think we need to come together as a community and kind of work through some of what the Bible actually says so that we know the truth and not just the truth from the sources that we want to hear it from. Um,
And distorted.
yeah, yeah.
Take it out. So
Um,
which ones?
I'm like skimming through it because there was a section that really stuck out to me. And I'm trying to find it now.
No, that's okay.
Let's see. Hold on one second. The wilderness right here. This is okay. So Isaiah 43, God's mercy on Israel's unfaithfulness. Like how many times Israel is like embarrassingly not returning to him, and then we look at our own lives and we're like, wow, that's me over and over again. So this is Isaiah 43:14. It says, this is what the Lord says, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake, I will send to Babylon and bring down as fugitives all the Babylonians and the ships in which they took pride. I am the Lord, your Holy One, Israel's Creator, your King. This is what the Lord says, he who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, the army and reinforcements together. And then they lay there, never to rise again, extinguished, snuffed out like a wick. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wild animals honor me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise. And then it goes on, even I am he who blots out your transgressions. This is 25. For my own sake and remembers your sins no more. So review the past for me. Let us argue the matter together. State the case for your innocence. Your first father sinned. Those I sent to teach you rebelled against me. So I disgraced the dignitaries of your temple, and I consigned Jacob to destruction and Israel to scorn. it's just interesting to see his passion for not listening or wanting us to look at the past to learn for the future, but also reminding us that he doesn't, in him, we are new creations, and he doesn't remember the transgressions when we operate from that lens. And I think this is so relevant to me is like admitting, like what I've admitted today is like dwell on the past and the former things to learn from them, but don't allow that identity to be your identity anymore. And don't try to take the place of me, who's the God, anyways. Like, so crazy how often we slip into wanting to control our own situations or be responsible for everything, and we're not. So that's my takeaway.
That's, I 18 is what I have is, don't dwell in the past because that's in the past. You can't change it,
Mhm.
but don't let it identify you in the future.
Yeah. 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 And it reminds me also of even like just another thing that came to mind is like Lot's wife. Lot's wife is the only woman in the Bible that looks back and is turned to a pillar of stone. And it's like, what are we supposed to learn from that? That he told her not to look back
To
and
listen and obey and not to look back.
not to
But
look
then,
back. Yeah.
and it's like, I don't want to be her. I don't want to be her.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. And I still think that, it's like when you're, for me, approaching it from a coaching perspective and feeling that pressure of feeling like I don't know, like you always, like you're responsible for everything. It's like, there is that moment where you're like, no, you do have to look back so that you can see how far you've come and help guide and assist others, but you're not responsible for changing their past either, because you can't.
No,
So I think that's important for
it's
us.
just a learning and evaluation.
Mhm. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. So what do you think is your number one current limiting belief or struggle right now? Obviously, time is a big thing.
Yeah. Um, Watching, and I know I'm not supposed to do this, watching the numbers on Etsy,
Mhm.
and it was doing good, and then it's dropped down to nothing. So my thought was, okay, my patterns aren't good enough. They're not what people want. And it's like, and I kept telling myself, it's okay. It's not about them. It's about a relationship. And if that's the, and I keep reminding myself, I'm not in it for the money. I am ending up for this is my way of doing God's work, even if I pay for every one of those.
Mhm.
That because mine are not fancy. I don't think God wants how I think, and I could be wrong, and you can correct me. God likes basic. He was a very basic man, and that's okay. And so they're not nothing royalty, really frilly or anything like that, and that's okay with me. It's getting the word out, and I'm okay with that.
I think that that needs to be a part of your authenticity and your branding when you do start posting about your patterns. I think that that needs to be a part of your story to show other people that they don't need to be super intricate. I
And
think that that needs to be a huge part of what you share.
that was something else, on my items. That's what I'm going to ask you. God put these when I make them. I don't know if I need to include a little personal in the description why I made it. You know what I mean?
I
God
think
put on my heart
in the
something. You know what I mean?
description, maybe, but I think personally, that's where the content marketing tells the story.
And
So
that's what what about the content. I
that's
guess
where, like, when you're posting on Instagram or you're posting on Facebook and you're posting a picture or a video, you can talk about what inspired you to make this piece. That's where you can connect with people on the front end and then send them to your store where they can purchase. But just like, we were talking about how websites are kind of dead because like when was the last time you went to a website that even you're somebody that you're friends with and you browsed through the products and you read through the entire product description? Like even on Amazon, unless you're looking for specific like dimensions or sizings or that type of thing, you don't typically read the description. The description is more for people to search and find it. But how did you find out about the product on Amazon? Because somebody posted it on Facebook or somebody posted it in a blog post. That's where you have a little bit more free will to like dive into what inspired you or created you. And that's where you start to like build relationships with people is on the front end of like, oh, I really like this. You know, what she's talking about. I like how this inspired her. Let me go check out her patterns. And so you're starting that customer journey, that relationship with people. Um,
Okay. And I just don't have the content
mhm.
readiness yet because that's more because I don't think I can do that in Etsy, right? I think the only way I did that was through the description
Mhm. Yeah.
and that's all I put on there.
No, for you, Etsy is like your website. For you, Etsy is like your hub, if you will, where you're sending people to.
Right.
But for all the people that have created all the Etsy sites, you know, we try to do our best with the keywords so that people who would be searching things like Christian embroidery, your shop would pop up. But other
Right.
than that, you know, your shop's going to pop up along all the other shops as well. This is where when you start looking and when you start typing in like Christian embroidery, even on Google, and you see that some people are doing YouTube videos, some people are doing Instagram, like you can tell a lot of Christian embroiderers don't have content out there right now, which is great news for you because even if your designs aren't the most intricate, if you're creating videos about your patterns and teaching people even just basics of embroidery, things that your audience would be searching for, talking about your story with your mom, talking about your experience with jail ministry, like all those little parts of your brand bouquet that start coming together that somebody stumbles upon your stuff and they're like, wow, I really like this. That's how you kind of slowly build that brand, that presence of people that now you become the go-to Christian embroiderer even if it's for basic embroidery patterns, because people are like, I love what she stands for. I love the entire
Right.
brand around everything that she's doing. And that's why they buy into it. Um,
And I'm not there yet. I mean, I haven't learned that yet. And so, but I will. I know it's down the road and
but
that's
you
okay.
already, but you already have, you have to give yourself credit because you already have, like when you talked about the pictures with your mom.
Yeah.
You don't know how those pieces come together, but you're already like creatively in your brain going, well, should I tell a story of how I came up? Yes, like all of those things are content ideas. All of the, or if there's something that like, you know, you're creating a pattern and there's a piece of music that you look at this pattern and you think of that piece of music. Like those are things that you can also like create a video with that music playing in the background and just a video of you embroidering or talking about your journey. Like all of those little elements, that's when you really start getting creative with the content side of it.
And that's where I kind of think of the name. I have to see the face. Last week, she did the video.
Christy? Yeah,
Christy.
you
Yes.
saw Christy's videos, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's
So
where
that
she,
would be, yeah. So that's where I'm going to be posting those are on Instagram and Facebook, right? Okay.
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah. So I'm still working on that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You also have to remember too, like it's gonna feel like you're farther behind because you don't have the same these a lot of these girls are on chapter 15, you know, and you're still on chapter 5, and that's okay.
It's okay. I'm
Like that's
okay with
okay.
that.
So, you know, there's still so many things for you to learn as far as like the videos and the platforms and the out like there's so many elements to it. But that's when like you saw what Christy's doing, how she's allowing really like the spirit to move through her and sharing that type of content. And like even posting her ChatGPT thing of like having ChatGPT roaster is hilarious because it's like all of the pieces of her bouquet, her brand bouquet coming together. And even if she's not fully confident on how all of those pieces together come together just yet, they're slowly coming together and she's building a library for people to come back. And then when those people who are her perfect clients come find her, they'll be able to be like, wow, you know, she's talking about her story. She's talking about her trauma. She's talking about her creations and the things that, and so that's kind of where we look at content. The beautiful thing that you have is, and I'm proud of you for recognizing, even checking the numbers on Etsy. The beautiful thing that you have is you don't already have this pre-programming of checking for virality to like also combat. You don't have the pre-programming coming from the world of like views and comments and all of that stuff. You're still learning all of that. So you don't have to like deprogram yourself in a way that some of the other girls do because you're going to be approaching it for the first time with sort of a fresh set of eyes. And so you can really go into it with the mindset of I'm building a library for people to stumble upon. Let me
Yeah.
just let me just try things. Just try it.
Yeah.
Trial and error and give myself freedom to create with him and put out there what I want to put out there. And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really exciting.
Well, and part of this, my weekly schedule is when I'm supposed to do my wherever my list went, um, in my go live,
Uh-huh.
talked about putting one as what's it called? Like and I may be totally wrong. I haven't figured it out yet. I think when it tells me if I wanted to put it as a showcase.
Okay. Hmm.
So then I've never done it, so I have to look at how to do that. It's as a new product come out, as a new pattern comes out, I can showcase it.
Oh yeah, cool. Like a spotlight.
And yeah, yeah. So I was in such a big hurry to get something out there that I didn't showcase any of the ones out there. So that's one of my things of on my weekly to-do list on
Yeah.
is showcasing one item at a time, and I don't know what it looks like as far as showcasing
Hmm.
because I haven't put it up as a showcase. I have to
Yeah.
do whatever the questions say. But I thought that was pretty cool, an idea that God put me in that in my to-do list in my office.
See, and that's something too that when it comes to content marketing, like you can choose the item for your showcase to feature and then just focus on creating. Oh, sorry. My dad's calling me.
Oh,
Just focus on creating content for that week on that one product.
yeah,
So one day it's a video, the next day it's a picture post, the next day it's a video, however you want to structure it. And then you just focus on that one piece for that week. One day you tell a story, the next day you tell what inspired you, the third day you show the product being made, however you want to get creative with it. But then that really like streamlines your creation process because you just pick a product of the week and then you alternate. And even if you only had 10 products, right? Even if you only put 10 products ever on your Etsy shop, which I know you'll put more, but then you can literally just rotate every single week. And then by the time it's ready for that next product to come up again, it's 10 weeks later. And you can just reuse the same stuff that you've already used or whatever's working. You don't have to like keep reinventing the wheel. There's
oh,
just,
so I don't have to, so I can redo a showcase. Okay.
yep, yep. Yeah, we call it repurposing, like trying to be strategic about how can you maximize your time across different platforms to where you're not having to keep reinventing the wheel. Maybe you will, maybe you'll have a creative spark of inspiration, but um,
Well, my thought was as I put a new one out, that would be that would be the spotlight.
uh-huh,
And then when I get ready for the next one, then I'll take that one down and put the new one up.
yeah,
However long that takes me, I have no idea
right, right, yeah,
because I have my to-do list through the week.
yeah, I love it. No, I think it's a good structure, and like I said, I think it's important for you to have those days set aside, especially if that's how like for mental clarity, what you need to do to help you stay on track. Then I think that that's smart. Yeah,
And and like I said, it'd be so much easier if I stayed home.
I know. Well, wouldn't it all for all of us?
Well, yeah, it would be.
I know, if only it worked that way. Although I was reading a statistic because I just had a friend who also sent me a private message who is in the business coaching space and she's thinking about going and returning into a full-time job. And I sent her an article. There's actually statistics that show that people who built a business alongside of their full-time job are more productive because
I've heard that.
they have that thing that constantly reminds them how much they actually want to build a business. Whereas when and some people say the opposite, like if you burn the boats and you light the fire, like, okay, maybe for the self-starter person, yeah. But I think for the average person, um, unless you're faced with just, I have no other choice, it gives you it gives you freedom to be able to create without the pressure of like it's all on me. I have to get it all right now, you know? So,
Well, that's how I felt at the very beginning because I didn't know it went live, and I'm like, what? So cram stuff in there, and there's times I've gone in and kind of shifted a little bit on it, but you know, that's like you said, it will always be a
always
revolving door.
yeah.
So I just want to say hi to Lisa
Leslie, how are
or
you?
Leslie. Sorry.
I don't know if she could talk right now.
Yes, yes, I'm good. Yeah, camera's off because I'm in my kid's room and she's running around, but I'm
Oh, that's
here.
okay. So tell me about your week, girl. Tell me about your ideas because I'm excited to hear.
Uh, yeah, so much has been going on. And hi, baby. So in the past week or so, I've been really just leaning into all the AI stuff that I've been learning. And and like I'm not afraid to be on camera. It just doesn't come naturally to me. Like I don't have the gift of gab. I wish I did. Um, but when the
There's
camera
nothing.
turns on, it's like, huh?
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with short and sweet and to the point.
Yes. So I'm good with those, right? Like I'm really good with like just a quick, but I'm trying I'm not trying. I am pushing myself to, right? Like I'll never get better if I don't exercise that part that I'm trying to change, right? Because that is a skill that I know I need to be able to do that when it comes to talking about myself and talking about what I'm doing. So I've been just showing up more in my stories and talking in my stories versus creating like reels and stuff on TikTok or Instagram. But anyway, I've been really leaning on to creating like tutorial videos about all the stuff that I'm learning with AI. And those have been going really well. Like I've been in this business for a minute now, and it feels like you make all these call to actions and no one's taking action. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, where are the people? No one hears me. Um, but lately, I have been getting like my many chat for it's literally been dormant for like 4 to 5 months, and in these past 2 to 3 weeks, the many chat's been on fire, like sending DMs and sending people to like um to my online store. We had our first silent buyer over the weekend. This lady sends me a message and she was like, hey, I've been saving people's content and people's pages and wanted to buy this particular product that I know that you use, but somehow I was led to you, so I bought it from you instead. And I never saw the message because my ManyChat responded to it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So when I am cleaning out my inbox, I'm like, oh my God, this is Karen. Oh my God, this is the lady that bought from us and telling my husband. So we started chatting, and um, so that stuff's been going really well. I am decided that I am going to build a community. I am going to target, or my target audience is high achieving women in corporate America that know they're meant for more. They want to find the time to do more. They just feel overwhelmed by their to-dos. So I'm going to come in and offer a 1 hour power hour where we turn ideas into action. And we're going to leverage AI tools and kind of leave with like an action plan. Like these are all the things you got to do. These are the AI tools that are going to help you get there. So it's going to be like a working session. Like we share screens, I show them what they need to do. And my goal, the transformation is that we're going to hang up the call and you're going to feel empowered to take on these things. The goal is to get them to obviously book more sessions after that and to book like a longer um, coaching package. But I've been going back and forth, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Britton, is should I do a school community? Should I explore like Stan Store has a community option, but I've never explored with that. And I know that managing a community is a lot of work. Um, you just got to make sure you're showing up and you're keeping people engaged and that you're making it worthwhile. So I wanted to get your feedback on that before I pull the trigger on one community platform or another. Just wanted to get your feedback um on what you think I would need to do based on my target audience, like what makes sense. Because like I'm familiar with school because I've been in this course world, but maybe yes, maybe Cindy, you could shed some light, right? You're not in this world. Like how is it managing school for you and you know, was it easy to adapt to and get around? And because the people that I would be marketing to are not from this digital marketing world.
When I
So
first,
yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to you about it and sharing my experience with you.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how do we want to do it here or do we want to do it on a one-on-one or how?
Or even just even just like a brief like just from what you know already operating because you only have my community and one other community in there, right, Cindy, that you toggle back and
Yeah.
you don't even really
Yeah.
check.
Well, I no, I don't even check that other one. So this is the only one I actually tried to find another community, but they wouldn't let me in. I don't know why. They just would never respond to anything. I tried to contact them. I tried to, you know, but they would just no response. So I gave up on them. So this is basically the only community schooling I've ever been in. And at first I um, wasn't sure about it all. Not sure of um, like the tabs and all those kind of things. I had to work my way through it, and then um, I don't know what happened, but now my now what's it called? Notification of when somebody posts isn't on. So I always try to, Britain has asked us to be on it, try to be on it once a day, and I try to do that, and then I didn't get somehow I missed the notification, so I don't know how to get that back. And so there's some things that when I first saw it, um, it had different icons, and now I can't find those icons. And I may have it's just still continuing to learn it and um, be in it more. And I'm still learning how to get
Okay.
through things.
Yeah. But
But
overall, it's
definitely,
fairly simple, right? I mean,
oh, I think it's pretty simple.
okay.
Um, when I first got on, it's like, is this a general question? I question and so it seems like everybody puts it all under general. And then I think there's administrative and then there's a prayer request. There's some other ones, but no one seems to post in it. Everybody posts under the same one. And it's like, well, why do we have those tabs if we're not going to use them?
I know.
No, nobody reads. Nobody reads. We just post.
So I thought, there's been a couple of times it's like, I may just have to start something in one of these.
Yeah.
And I just haven't done it.
And that's something that I could change from the admin side. I could change on that too and like add additional, maybe I should add like just a voice now that I am doing more voice memos, like a voice memo like folder, and that's something that I can do on the admin side too, is just like, so help keep better organization. Although when you first log on, you'll see all of it anyways. It doesn't matter what category it's under. Like that first main page would be anything that anybody posts in anything. So it's a good place to catch up on anything that you may have missed. But that's a good idea. Um, Leslie, are you thinking about doing a free community or a paid community?
Uh,
Or both.
I definitely, yeah, I definitely want it behind a paid wall because I am going to be I am going to be recording trainings and doing all of that as I'm finding things out, like new technologies and that sort of thing. Um, and I would like to offer like coaching calls, maybe like once a month or twice a month where we get together in two different times where we can kind of work through some of the challenges and things that people may be going through that I could help find solutions for. And then Yeah. So the short answer is I would like it to be a paid
Yeah. Yeah. I
community.
like that. I like that. I'm just so I guess I'm just trying to okay, so let me answer school. School to me is an excellent platform. Obviously, there's a monthly charge for it. If you can offset the monthly charge with your subscriptions, that would be ideal. But it's I think for the user compared to like Facebook groups where, Facebook groups just had their crazy thing happen. Facebook groups are free. They're a little bit more searchable for SEO purposes. You might get more what the heck just happened? I think a frog just jumped up on my window and it literally scared the poop out of me just now. That or a bird ran into the window. I don't know. But anyway, Facebook groups, you have more opportunity for people to just stumble upon your group and find it. I think there's this fine line too, though, between people who pay attention. They just do. You guys who are ambassadors, you guys are the most active ones inside of the community. Doesn't mean that everybody who's paid is active inside the community, but I do think with the free feature, you have a lot of lurkers, you have people who have the opportunity. You have the opportunity with school if you keep it free with a lot of the scammers. You guys see that we even have scammers in this community. They sign up for the free trial and then they churn and then I have to remove them outside of the community. I like the paid option better. My question would be more like, how do you strategically set up your offer suite? So the first point of contact, correct me if I'm wrong, would be like they find you from your content. Would the first point of contact get them to be on that one-on-one power hour call, or is that like your upsell once they're inside of the community and the community is like the first point of contact?
I don't know.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I was doing these kind of sessions. I did them with two business people, and they were like, "This is." I was like, "This is so amazing! Like, how much you charge for this to do it again?" And I was just like, I don't know," because I was actually just brainstorming with someone and didn't really think it through that. Oh man, yes, I could pay for this. Like, this makes sense, right? Because
So you need to do,
this is what people
so
come
this is
to me
like,
naturally for.
Yeah.
so this is like having like 15-minute, how do I say, estimated, is you have 15 minutes of share time with them at the beginning, and then after that 15 minutes, you can go an hour or however,
Or what I was gonna say is like
or offer however
maximize
that is.
to maximize your time, Leslie, is like depending on which kind of schedule you're wanting to operate on, instead of doing individual power hours, your content feeds into a weekly power hour that they can jump on. And so now it's a group setting. You do the same thing, like breaking down, like you talked about, like this is for high achieving corporate women, 1 hour power hour with actions using AI tools. Come to this week's session. I'm going to teach you. You get the people to register in for a group coaching opportunity. After that power hour, you give them your options. If you want to join the community, it's X amount of dollars per month. So it's a sales pitch every week, every other week, whatever. It's an event that they can look forward to, that you're teaching them something. Essentially, you're getting them on a sales call. Now, if you eventually, like for scaling purposes, if you wanted to create this evergreen, you could. But with this opportunity, like with AI and all the tools that are coming out with, this also gives them an opportunity to jump on multiple free sessions with you and then go, hey, I can upsell you into my one-on-one coaching packages, or you can join our community where we have monthly calls like this more in depth.
Okay, I really love that.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta write that. Yeah, I love that.
And that's
Because
such
that just makes, yeah,
depends
that
on
makes a
like
lot
your
of sense.
time commitment, but like let's maximize the time for the people that you're serving. And it's like every CTA in your content now just leads them straight to your first offer, which could be it's a free masterclass. I do one every week or every other week. Register for this week we're going to talk about this, and in your content, do the tutorial type of content because that's literally what you're carrying then into these power hours. So you're just doing a more in-depth explanation. And once they get, it's just like that little drip, right, of taste, like, oh, if this is what she's teaching an entire group of us, hey, you want the opportunity to ask questions in a private community, it's X amount of dollars a month. Or if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, we can talk about that as well. And then you can keep building the customer journey from there with your other offers.
Okay. Oh, that gives me, yeah, that really lines it up. That makes a lot more sense because then I'm not, yeah, you make total sense because then I'm able to pitch to multiple people at the very end. Like if you want more of this, then I could pitch them the community or a one-on-one, right? You know how they always do at the end, like, I have this offer and this, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can be that girl. Okay, perfect. Okay.
And I would do it to where,
So,
so, here's my other caveat, I guess. School doesn't have the opportunity to do a capture page. Like, you would need either StanStore, which you're pretty familiar with StanStore, right?
yeah, that's what I have right now. So yeah, I would lead them through a landing page, a squeeze page essentially to get to school. Yeah.
Or a squeeze page to get them to register for the masterclass. And then I
Right.
would take them into, depending on how you wanted to structure the funnel, but I would take them into like an introduction video of you and pitch them directly into the community. Because since that's monthly recurring revenue, like pitch them straight into the membership, but that way you already have their email. And while they're waiting for the masterclass each week, this is where your email automations are set up to be like, hey, our masterclass is about this, or this, whatever, blah, 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 but you keep pitching them the community
Okay.
in the emails. And then that way, by the time they get on the master, even if they don't get on the master class, you're still pitching to them. But if they do get on the master class, they've already seen this 7 times before. They're already
Right.
in the journey because of your emails, so they're more likely to then purchase with you on the actual live webinar. And then you could even, send out the recordings of the webinar too, depending on how you wanted to structure it or how often you wanted to do it. But yeah, that way you're still capturing that customer information.
Okay. Do you think a weekly webinar with,
It's totally up to you and what's not gonna burn you out, because that's a huge part of your
yeah,
brand is like, and you don't want maybe every other week, you don't want women
yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, twice a month, I think would
twice a
be
month.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, it's a lot of work. You got to prep for it. You got to do content for it. You got to lead up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have like all of us, a big girl full-time job. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
hard.
No, and yeah, you could do it every other weekend. Because especially if your client is high achieving corporate women, you want it to be duplicatable for them too, to where they're not like, oh, this is what I would have to do is every single week. So if it's every, and maybe they wouldn't even be doing obviously the same thing you'd be doing, but um, yeah. And then
But
there's so many ways that this could go from there. I get like so excited thinking about all the things that you could branch off, but I don't want to like overwhelm you right now.
yeah, no, and I have gone because I'm very big, like big picture things. So I'm going down all these things, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just so much, and I don't know where to start. I'm like, I start this thing and started that thing. But I really need to just focus on the one task at a time to make sure that I am taking those steps to move forward. Like it has been so refreshing that after so many months of trying to figure out which direction to go into, where I'm just like, God, just lead me to where you want me to go. Like, what am I doing? What's happening? And I'm just really leaning into what I love and what comes naturally. And even today, I just showed up in my story. It was like messy bun. I was so proud of myself. I was like, I feel like Britain right now. I got my
Yes.
messy bun and my glasses on. I had Zoe in the background. I was just like, oh, no one talks about how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. I'm just saying. I just want to say that it just sucks. And I just want to put that out there. All right. Have a good day, TikTok. And I got so much, like, and it's so interesting because the most engagement I've ever gotten with the lowest views, you know what I mean? Which I see a lot when you're like trying to transition and grow that less people will watch but more people will engage, but those are the people that then end up in your DMs. They're like, man, I'm so glad you're talking about this. It is, I've started 7 businesses and none of them go anywhere. Now I'm having conversations, which is, I was not having those, for months and months when I'm posting this superficial content.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm finally in alignment and it feels good and I feel good staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning working and I'm just like I feel um like I'm just excited about this. Like I want to make like we're doing this, Jesus. Like this is happening, you know?
Yes.
So it's really
You
exciting.
go.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting.
I don't know how you're doing it, Leslie. I cannot do
And
that.
yeah, I mean a lot of coffee, a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually it.
But I'm yeah, a lot of coffee. But you know what, Cindy? I just it's temporary. I keep reminding myself like this period is temporary and this period is going to lead me and lead my family to where it is that we've been working, like where it is that we want to go and where I envision our lives to be. And this stage has to happen, right? Like this is that
Mm.
there's this guy that talks about it all the time. His name is Brian on TikTok, and he's always like the dip. He talks about the business dip, like no one talks about. You start off really excited and all these, you're just so pumped, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is hard. Like, who wants to be an entrepreneur? And that's kind of where I am, but I'm finally seeing those seeds um take, like they're starting to grow. Like I'm seeing some green in my cup, and it just feels really, really good
That's
to
good.
just stick to it, follow through, and nothing. If it was easy, Cindy, everyone would be doing it.
Oh
Business is
yeah,
hard. You know what I mean?
and for me, I all my lights just went out. Oh, they're all dead. I for me, I did not put like a time zone on mine. And I think it's because I have so much on my plate. I cannot stay up until midnight, 2, 3 o'clock, and still function the next day. I just can't do that. I know my limitations, and I'm not. I'm okay with doing this slowly. And so, but for you guys that are powerhouses, I'm all for you. I'll cheer you on.
Leslie will have parties at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like sitting here emailing people back at midnight. I'm like, oh, whatever it is. It's what it is. This is when I focus on stuff, a lot of stuff. It's when he just goes to bed for the night. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
think yeah, I think it's the season of it's the season that starts to be fun when you see like the beginning of like the seeds that you've sown start to actually produce something that then you're like almost more motivated to push through that extra cup of coffee because you're like, wow, it's actually starting to come into fruition. It's all the planting, it's all of the, all of this hard stuff,
yes,
all of
yeah,
the
yeah,
core stuff that nobody wants to do. But it's like, for as how many planting references are in the Bible, we have to, in order to get to the harvest, we have to plant. And we have to keep planting and we have to keep planting unless you want just, to reap the harvest. And then all of a sudden, what happens the next summer, the next season? It's like
yes,
you
yeah,
keep planting, you keep sowing in, you keep coming back to the boring stuff because like Cindy and I were talking about, you keep going through the keywords and tweaking them and changing them and this and that. And it's like nobody wants to talk about that stuff. That's the boring stuff because we just want to get to the beautiful harvest at the end. But
And you guys are so funny. I think all of it's fun.
she's like, it's new and it's exciting.
Well, I'm
You'll be
sorry,
really
but
excited when somebody stumbles, just like Leslie, when somebody stumbles upon your pattern and actually, not a
yep,
scheme, actually purchases from you, and you're like, oh, it's working. It's
yes,
working,
yeah,
and I didn't even know. Like this shows that I'm in alignment. Things are happening the way that they're
yes,
supposed
right.
yeah,
But see, I
yeah,
love paperwork, so that's why I have an office job and an
That's
accounting job.
also why you do so well, is because Cindy, the people who fall in love with the process are the people who succeed. It's the people who don't fall in
yeah,
the process that continuously struggle because
Well,
they just want the end result. They don't want to fall in love with the journey. So the fact that you're like, I love all of it, that's great. You should keep that forever.
yeah. Yeah, keep that energy. I was telling somebody the other day, they're like, it's just so much. I'm like, just focus on what you enjoy. Don't lose sight of why you got into this game and why you're doing it. because then it stops being fun. Like this is all, yes, it's all part of it, and it all
I don't
makes
know
it that
how
much
can you
sweeter.
not have fun. I'm sorry. This is just too much
Yeah.
fun.
Bill, you don't want to build something that makes you feel resentful. You know, you don't want to build something that makes you feel, because I mean, and Leslie, you should be proud of yourself too, because the amount of people that just throw in the towel, you know what I mean? They're so burned out by the whole thing that then they're just like, okay, this they take it as, oh, this is a sign that I wasn't meant to do this. No, this was just your introduction. You know, it wasn't necessarily the best
Yeah.
introduction, but the amount of people that actually keep pushing through that dip, through the valley of despair to go back up on the other side
Yes.
before they didn't
Yes.
just jump from one thing to the next thing or whatever the case that may look, or they just quit. They're like, meh, whatever, this isn't for me. Like,
Yeah. 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 And I see that. I was cleaning out like my Instagram, like all the people that I kind of like started with on this journey. You want to do it? Okay. Here, press start. So many accounts have disappeared. I'm like, oh, look at all these like users that used to be there that are no longer there. I'm like, I've had conversations with these people, and they're gone, their stand store is inactive. It's just so it's hard, and
yeah,
my husband and I have pivoted more times than we like to admit. But we know we want to succeed. We know it's not, it's not easy. So we're like together, apart. Okay, you focus on your thing, I focus on my thing. Then he was on his coaching call earlier today, and he posted some videos of the two of us, and he's just been posting videos of him. And the videos that popped off this week for him are videos of him and I. And the coach is like, yeah, you got to take a look at what's been working. And we both look at each other and shake our heads like, oh God, I don't want to work with you again. But we have pivoted so many times, but it's part of it. We enjoy it. And like failure is not an option. We know God called us for more.
yeah,
So,
amen,
And
amen.
what good quality time.
oh yeah, super quality.
Leslie, and let me ask you this. So are you're paying for a Stan Store, you're paying for ManyChat.
Yeah.
What are your like monthly subscriptions right now? I'm
I
asking,
don't
I'm
know.
going to be honest with you. I'm asking you selfishly because here's the reality of the situation. I think that my agency is going to be a quicker journey than I anticipated. I think this is going to be something that I start sooner than what I would. I just, with all these people that are coming into my world, business owners, I just had another call today with another local company in town. And so I'm slowly working on the back end software wise of transitioning to that and what that might look like. So if it's a situation that you ever like wanted, right, built out funnels, capture pages, that type of stuff, and you want to consolidate your subscriptions, that's the software that I use is like one software. And it would do all your automations, your ManyChat, your funnel building, your website, all that stuff.
Yeah, we were trying. Is it go high level? Because we got go high level, and I tried. It was a lot for me to
Okay.
um
Okay.
to figure out. We wouldn't be opposed to it because ManyChat is $15 a month. Stan is $99 a month, and then don't even get me started on how much all the AI stuff we pay for is. So if there was a way of streamlining so we don't have all these things going on, I just could not figure it out. Like
Yeah.
I just didn't. Not that I couldn't figure out, I did not have the patience or time to sit there and talk to tech support back and forth to get it done.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's fine.
but I would be interested in a more simple solution 100%.
Yeah.
We're just kind of going with what's easy right now, but it's definitely costing us.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if there's a way to integrate necessarily all of the AI stuff, like, because I know you're using a lot of the other third party platforms that obviously don't communicate with Go High Level, like Crea, and I mean, I don't even know all of the other ones. Hey, Jen.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey Gen, 11 Labs, Kling, we use all the things, but it would just really be the automation. Emails for us is really the emails, the DM automations, and then the posting. I was exploring Metricool. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, just so that we can get our content in some sort of schedule so that we're not stressed out posting on a bunch of sites. We can just use one thing that posts to everything. And I've tested it out a couple times. But yes, a single solution would be amazing, minus all the AI stuff because that's just different. But
Right.
for running of the business, I would love something much simpler.
Well,
The
this is where
content creation thing.
my vision goes. Like, okay, there's a monthly charge for the software. Obviously, that's kind of unavoidable. But if you're already paying, let's say, over what the monthly charge would be just in ManyChat and Stan, but then add in all,
Yep.
if you're gonna add more services, like you're looking in Metricool or some of these other things, like I would rather you pay me and then you just send me your content and have my agency schedule it for you so that you don't even have to deal with GHL, but you're only paying for the one subscription.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so that
Yeah.
might be something that we talk about in the future too. I want to also talk to you about
Okay.
curious too about your time commitment and what you're looking at as far as creating even just a couple modules for the community as far as AI stuff. What does that look like for you? Are you open to that still? I don't want to.
I am, yep, I am open to that. I was looking through your modules and I was thinking about what would benefit the community. And I think for us solopreneurs, I think showing people how to leverage AI just to be more productive is kind of like my sweet spot. So showing them the difference between Claude, Perplexity, how to use things like Metricool, how to start for free to get yourself organized, how to free up more time so you don't become a slave to the content that has to go along with running your business. And then also teaching people about agents inside of ChatGPT, which is phenomenal. I just got access to that last night. That's why I was up until late. But you can book flights, you can research viral content. It'll create a whole content calendar for you. It'll give you hooks, captions, SEO, and you could see it working. Like the agents, I don't know if you've looked at it, Britton, but the agent stuff is mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like how much it can do so that as we run our businesses, we don't get lost in it.
Mhm.
We actually just send these little agents to work and it'll deliver what we need every single morning to our mailbox or however you want it. It's so yeah, so that's what I would want to lean into. So
Love it.
I don't know if that would make sense. It would be around just productivity.
No, no.
Um,
Whatever you want to create, like I don't want to sit here and say, "Hey Leslie, let's do 10 modules or whatever." Like whatever you're willing to create and throw in there, by all means.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Then that's what I'm working on this week.
Okay.
Um, so that's what I would love to share with with the community. I think it would benefit all of us, right? Like even for you, for like Cindy, like really understanding how to utilize things like ChatGPT for all the SEO, all the keywords. It'll do market research for you, so you're not Googling 27 different websites. You can just put in a prompt and let it deliver to you what's trending in your in your area, in your area of expertise, whatever what you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, I would love that. I would love to be able to feature that. And like if you have affiliate links or anything like that, be able to put those in there too.
yes, and that's why I wanted to make sure I got that squared away because I've been sharing what I am doing, like giving just free education away and linking people back to my affiliate offers. And I'm getting click-throughs, and I think that's how people have been finding me and making sales. Been making sales because of that. But
Yeah.
I want to sell our very own. I want to sell our stuff.
Mhm.
So yes, yep.
And brainstorm
Um,
this like you've seen inside of the courses too. I'll take whatever you're willing to give to put inside of the community, which obviously would be only accessible for people with a membership. But if you wanted to do something like Tony did with SWC or some of these other creators where they drop X amount of modules, but it's only a small portion of a bigger package or a bigger offer that you could then sell, that's also an option,
mhm.
you know?
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
brainstorm,
that, yeah,
enough
okay,
content that obviously like what Tony did in SWC was still incredible. And then his full package was like only an additional like 6 or 7 modules after that, but it upsold people into his full program to access the rest of the training. So that's, that's an option too.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's my goal is in the next, I want to say in the next 5 to 7 days, have everything. I had my agent going to work this morning, getting
Yeah.
me all of like the newest softwares, and I was like, oh, and there's this tool. I'll have to send it to you. I don't know if you've heard of the Notebook in Google. Well, um, it'll do market research for you so you can feed it all of this information. Let's say you're studying, I don't know, content creation, or you're getting ready for a meeting with a client, right? And you're like, okay, I need you to fill out this questionnaire. I need you to tell me all these things about you. I'm going to pull up your LinkedIn. I'm going to pull up your YouTube pages, and you could feed it Notebook LM is what it's called on Google. You could feed it all of this information. It'll analyze all of the documents, transcripts, PDFs, documents, websites. It'll summarize all of the information for you and then give you an 18-minute podcast with the information. So it'll teach it to you in a way that you can fully like grasp in preparation for that thing, right? So super powerful. You hear two people talking back and forth to one another, dissecting the information, but it's such a cool way to study and to do research without having to sit there and read endless amounts of PDFs. AI is just super powerful, man.
Do you know anything about N8N?
I started messing around with it. Um, I tried building my own agent, but I was waiting for the ChatGPT agent to get rolled out because this ChatGPT agent will take the place of that. And I'm much more familiar with OpenAI, like the way they operate is a lot cleaner. So,
Yeah.
but I've messed around with it a couple times, just getting it to connect with my Gmail and my calendar and setting up appointments for me, writing emails for me, and leaving it in my drafts and things like that. So you could just review it before you hit send. Because you want to give it some autonomy, but not all. You want to make sure you're still reading the things that it's sending out. But it's really, really stinking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been diving into too, just from obviously this this phase too is going into like the companies in town that already use they're not interested in moving over to GHL or anything like, they already have established websites or client app like my chiropractor or the HIPAA compliance, all that kind of stuff. But the agents that would speak between their networks to help increase their business is
Yes.
so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
okay, cool. So let's touch base then next week and we'll go from there. But did you have any
Okay, love
questions
it.
about the community? I pretty much answered everything else about the community, right? Like,
Yes, yes, you did. You did. You gave me a plan, so now I was lost of knowing what to do first, but pitching that master class is brilliant. So that's what I'll focus on this week in my content because I'm getting traffic. I'm so excited.
yeah, yeah, and
I'm
maybe
like, they see me,
start with the
Lord, they
free
see
start with
me.
the free master classes, and then evaluate over time. Like maybe that's your low ticket offer. Maybe it says
Yeah.
$10 entry into your master club hour power hour master class or $10 or whatever, and then that's your low ticket, and then you're still then generating money off of that too. Or you turn one of them into like an evergreen YouTube video that then you could just put inside of a funnel. And now it's not even you having to do the master classes live.
Yes, yeah. I've joined a lot of those. And I forget the name of the platform that does it, but it's like, oh, the class starts in 30 minutes and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You're like, what?
Yeah,
But it's a
right.
whole, I think it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah, it's like, what do
The
you
next
mean? It
session
starts
is
right now.
ironically in 8 minutes.
Yeah, you're ready. But
Yeah.
the software is really cool because yeah, you record at one time and it could be free or like to your point, it could be paid. I think
Mhm.
to your point, people who invest, even if it's $5, are more likely to show up and follow through. Like There's so many people that just like, oh, free, okay. No, we need empowered buyers. I need empowered people in my circle.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's also going to give you permission. It's going to give me permission. Like I kind of dropped this at the Myron Golden mentioning that like his free content is the content he produces as community service for the people who can't afford him yet. I think that is such a
Yeah.
powerful mental shift because then you could create your tutorial videos and you can create content not with trying to find people, but just this is my way of giving back. This is my ministry
Yes.
knowing that those
Yes.
people are going to binge your stuff and they're not going to purchase anyways. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're like freeing
Right. Yeah.
yourself up to have that pressure. And it's like, I think for a long time I struggled with the value ladder of like, well, if I give it to them all for free up front, then who's going to actually invest with me? Like, I need to make sure I'm not giving away all of my information. No, give it away all for free. Give it away all for free because then the people who actually invest are paying for proximity and they're paying for
Yes.
actually investing in the transformation versus just free information for free information. Because
Yes.
I'm so
Exactly.
busy trying to like hide from people, somebody else is out there giving for free anyways. And because I'm doing everything from the Bible anyways, it's like, who am I, do I think, to like gatekeep this? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that, yeah, I think it'll free you up and give you permission to just like do your tutorials and get the interest from people.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
I'm excited.
I appreciate you.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, well, this has been awesome. I'm gonna let you guys go because my dad is texting me. Wondering
And
when
my
Okay.
husband
Okay.
and my husband wants to eat. We haven't ate yet.
I was like, yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
He's like, are you coming down? I'm like, I'm on a coaching call, Dad. I'm coming down.
no.
Let me real quick say a prayer for both of all of our businesses.
Okay.
Stay with you. I'll do it very quick because, like my husband says, otherwise I will just keep rambling. So here we go. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for these two beautiful women and for all the beautiful women watching this replay. Lord, I just pray that you sow into their business, that you plant so that they may reap a harvest. Lord, I know that you're in this season of preparation for a lot of us and this season of really exciting transitions for others. We're all on different phases of this journey, but we're building these businesses to honor you first and foremost. And so that I ask that you come in to their hearts and I ask that you position them inside of the marketplace so that those people who are looking for them specifically and the gifts and the testimony that you've sown into their life would just show up in front of them and they would continue to serve the people that you want them to serve, Lord. Just thank you so much for this time together and for the opportunity to grow and be in community with such incredible women. In Jesus' name, amen. Mwah.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you
Have a
next week.
blessed week.
Have a good one.
Yes, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.